Yo, Todd here, Center Valley Customs. Welcome back to anyone that follows. Welcome to everyone else. This video, we're back on the Tracker. We need to whip up some exhaust. So I went and I ordered a El Cheapo Amazon 2.5-inch exhaust kit, mainly because by the time I buy the wrong 90, the wrong 45, the wrong this, the wrong that, go find some straight pieces, blah, blah, blah. Each one of those from the auto parts store is like 15 bucks. And obviously you're not going to find a U at the auto parts store. So by the time I buy all those bends and all that other garbage, this kit was like 75, 80 bucks. Figure what the hell. If I don't use all of it now, I guarantee you I'll use it in the future. So yeah, the other thing, if you recall way back when, I ordered the wrong flange for the turbo outlet. So today, we're going to try to whip that up quick. I was going to order a new one, but I didn't. I wasted the budget on all that over there. So we need to make one. This is really thick, 1/2-inch plate. Way overkill. Unfortunately, the 1/4-inch stuff I have is not wide enough for the flange that we need to make. So we're going to whip it out of this. Hopefully my plasma cutter can cut this. My plasma cutter supposedly can cut up to 1/2 inch. I never tried, and honestly I kind of doubt it will. But for tonight, what we're going to do is I already got a 2.5-inch hole saw whipped up on the mill over there. I'm going to half-ass line this up on here, just trace it, and I'm only really worried about this center hole. But I'm just going to trace this out in a spot where, you know, it works. Drill this center hole, and then I'll trace out these 3 other holes, smash those out, and then I'll trace the outside, and we'll try to go after it with the plasma cutter. Probably not going to work, so I'm probably going to end up using the grinder and have to get fancy with the grinder on this. So today, I think it's going to be time lapse. I don't know. I'm going to try to get this whipped out as fast as I can. I hope that really shitty hole saw can cut through this 1/2-inch plate. But if you remember when we did the exhaust manifold flange, it actually worked out pretty good. So I'm going to get this traced out, chucked up in there, and start smashing a hole. Well, unfortunately the old El Cheapo hole saw didn't work. Ate all the teeth flat. So Troy brought me a whole bunch of hole saws. I found this 2 3/8 Milwaukee one that hopefully will work. I also have this. Look at that bad bitch. That thing's got some chompers on it. Unfortunately, I don't have a chuck or anything to chuck this up. I thought about just stuffing this up in the drill chuck and just running her, but we'll give this a shot first. If that doesn't work, I don't even know if this is the right size, to be honest, but it might work. Got the saw cut out. Look at that. Holes even line up. I also measured the diameter of the stud and cut the hole out to the stud, not to the gasket. Because this gasket is like a 7/16 hole, and these are an M8, I don't know, whatever size that is, but 7/16 is too big. So I'm gonna throw this back on here, trace it and hopefully run the plasma. Otherwise we'll be grinding. And I don't want to grind 1/2-inch plate for 4 hours, but we'll see what happens. Alright, we're going to see if we can cut this. Place your bets. I'm going to say it's not going to work. I did, however, rebuild everything in this tip, so if it's going to work, this is going to be the best chance we got. I'm just going to make a cut over yonder and see if we can even do this. That didn't go through. Was I going too fast? I don't know. I got through that time. Alright, I don't know. Go really slow, I guess. Let's give her a shot and see what happens. Try to hold this straight this time, unlike the last thing I cut with this. I'd be damned. That's surprising. Looks like shit, but what does it matter? Okay. I wish that this wasn't a button. I wish this was a trigger. You get uncomfortable pushing the button. Alright, let's see. Look at that. Woo-woo. Apparently the tips on these are pretty critical. Once I change that, cut perfect. Huh. Nice. Garbage. Okay, now we'll do a whole lot of cleanup. That is hot. Ooh. Wow, that looks bad. That looks bad. Well, there she is. Looks hideous. The plasma welder didn't do great with 1/2-inch, but it is what it is. I could take the grinder and clean a lot of this up, but honestly, I don't think I'm going to, because I think it's kind of funny that it looks really shitty. Yo, new day. It's actually been probably over a week. I've been gone bow hunting and rifle hunting, so I have not been home to work on anything. Actually, I came home yesterday and worked on this off camera because remember that power steering pump we replaced? Well, probably wasn't the problem. Turns out the return line is rotted out and has a hole in it. So it was pissing fluid out. Now, the training cooler lines on this thing are like, I don't know how they're not leaking. They are rotted. I don't know how they're not leaking. They're 10 times worse than that power steering return line. So I'll have to do that coming up here. Or I just do it once it starts leaking. Or it'll leak all the fluid out, and then the tranny will go to shit. Tranny is already shit. Anyway, whatever. Last thing I did on the Tracker was made this discharge flange. Looks like shit, so perfect. Today I tore all the exhaust off. So in all honesty, I wanted to keep this exhaust. Well, not all of it, but I was going to reuse it. But there's a couple issues, I guess. Where this downpipe comes down, I couldn't get into it from the turbo. It would have taken a lot of MacGyvering. Actually, this exhaust is in really good shape, and that's part of the reason I was going to keep it. So I don't know if this was like recently put on or what the deal is, but this is not rotted out at all. Yeah, I don't know. Must be all brand new. But I couldn't get into there, so I would have had to hack that off. And then it still probably would have been pretty hard to get into the front of the cat. So then I would have had to cut it about here, trying to leave this O2 sensor. But this pipe is like 2-inch. That's 2.5. So I'd have had to adapt it down, which is not a big deal, and I probably have an adapter, but it don't leave me much room here. And then I noticed that this tailpipe has a wicked kink in it. Right here. Yeah. So I figured, what the hell? I'll just cut it all off. We got enough pipe to just make a whole exhaust system. I did actually try to unbolt that, and then I think I smashed my hand, rounded the nut off, and then the porta band got a hold of it. So that's that. I do have a muffler that I put on here. I bought a whole catback system for this because the muffler rotted out. So I put a whole catback system on this, and then my wife complained that it was too loud. So I took that muffler off, put some knockoff quiet muffler on it, and that just happens to be a 2.5-inch inlet and outlet, so we're gonna utilize it. So because that thing's so big and it's pretty much a straight through muffler, it'll do nothing to quiet it down. So perfect. I want to hear the turb ski make the whooshy whooshy noises or sushi cutter noises or whatever you want to call it. I don't know that it will, but it'd be pretty cool if it does. So what we need to work on today, and it's already late, so I don't know how far we're going to get, but I'm going to get this back down on the ground, and we're going to work on seeing what we can do for a downpipe. So let's get something done. So we're going to start with making this downpipe. Now it looks like I have a lot of room, which it is a fair amount of room, but I need to try to stay away from these plug wires. I got a booster vacuum hose here, clutch cable, there's a throttle cable in here, these brake lines. Like, I want to try to stay away from all of this stuff as much as possible. So originally I thought about taking a 45 and actually 45ing down and then another 45 to go down, but that's like one more pipe, you know. So I think what I actually am going to do is take this 90, slide this in here, and try to cut it to make it fit. So in order to do that, I think what I'm going to do, sorry, if I come straight out, I'm going to go straight into all this crap. And it's not really where the hole is, more or less. So I think I'm going to end up cutting this on an angle so that this actually comes out like this and kind of stay closer to the head, more or less. I also am going to try to come down as close as I can to this header. So yeah, that's kind of my thought. We'll give this a shot. I do have header wrap. I was going to put a header wrap on here just to try to keep the heat down so we don't melt everything. So That's the plan. I already got this crappy flange on here. So hold this on there, make a mark, slice and dice, see what we get. That looks good if I can hold it there. Wow. Okay. That looks better anyway. I could live with that, I think. How far off am I on this pipe though? Ooh. Ooh. We got a Gaposaurus like you wouldn't believe under here. Oops. I can fill that in, no problem. Well, we got our down pipe. I got a bit of a Gaposaurus on the bottom, but I think throw some beads on the outside, throw some beads on the inside. We'll get her welded up. So I'm gonna weld this all up here, and quite honestly, that's probably gonna be about as far as I'm gonna go tonight. Yo, it's actually been a few days. When I was welding this up, my camera died, so I called it quits. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving and spent time with your family. You know, got to see that one psychopath family member you got that always does or says something stupid. If you don't have one, or think you don't have one, newsflash, it's probably you. Yeah. Anyway, so when I was welding this up, it did not go great because my welder welded like shit. It's probably more me than my welder, to be completely honest, but I got this welded all the way around. Got my Gaposaurus, sorry it's dark and you can't see, but got my Gaposaurus on the bottom welded. I actually welded it around the inside and took a burr bit and kind of cleaned it up. I actually took a burr bit and I tried to clean these welds up a little bit. I started to, I should say, and then I got sick of it and gave up. So if I wanted to, I could clean all this up, but I don't care that much. So I'm going to leave all the welds look like shit. This flange looks like shit. The other flange on there looks like shit. Everything looks like shit. So that's the road we're taking. So today, what the plan is to make the rest of it to at least get underneath the vehicle. I am not ambitious today. I don't really want to do anything. So yeah, I actually went in the house, shut the lights off, shut everything off, and then I realized it was like 5:30. So I came back out here to kind of push through and at least get something done. But today I'm going to work on the rest of this. So my plan is to do something like this. With these two 45s, it literally works out perfectly to get underneath the floor, you know, around the firewall, and then under the floor, like literally perfectly. So I'm going to work on this. My plan initially was to clamp this here, but these slip fits are so loose that it's probably just going to leak. So I think I'm going to attempt to make this all one piece, weld all these slip fits, and hopefully I can still get this out. If I got to take the studs out of the turbo to slide this down, then so be it. But that's kind of my plan for the day. Probably not going to record this because I'm going to be underneath the vehicle. It's going to be dark. I'm going to be in the way. You ain't going to see anything. So once I get this all welded up and figured out and whatever I'm going to do, I'll bring you back and show you what I came up with. And that's probably going to be about it for the night. Like I said, I am not ambitious. I got a new pellet grill today. I put that all together. I grilled something for dinner. And then I was just like, done for the day. Now I'm out here. So let's get this knocked out for the night and then show you what I come up with. Well, there it is. Got this all welded up. While I was under there, I marked a spot for my O2 bung, so I drilled that and welded that in. Welds look like crap, to be expected, because apparently I can't weld. Part of my problem might be that I have 023 wire still in it from when I was doing the rockers and floor and whatnot, which I still need to finish. But I wonder if that's part of my problem, why I've been welding different, more or less. Anyway, doesn't matter. Who cares? So I got this. Get this thrown in, show you what it looks like, and probably call it a night. Well, there it is. All the way up from the turbo. You can see my O2 bung. Comes down. 45s. And then I got a pipe on a jack stand way back here that should mate these two, and yeah, we'll work on putting our muffler down here somewheres, and then go from there tomorrow. So I'm gonna get out from underneath here and get this light out of the way. Whoops, that's nice. Anyway, I'm going to crawl out from underneath here and relax a little bit, which I haven't done quite a while, so that'll be nice. See you tomorrow. Yo, new day, once again, final day, hopefully, should be, yes. It's actually halfway through the day already. I had to do some stuff, went and got all my hairs cut, specifically waited until after deer hunting to do that, so yeah. I did a little preparation. I cut all the original hangers off of the original stuff because I want to try to utilize the original hangers. But to start today, what we're going to end up doing is I need to cut a straight piece of exhaust to put the muffler on. I'll crawl into there and kind of show you what I got going on, what I think. Okay, so I got this pipe kind of sitting up on some jack stands here. This is where, I don't know what you want to call this, header pipe, down pipe, whatever comes down, and there's a slip joint here. So there's a cross member here, and then the original muffler used to sit here. That's where I want the new muffler to sit. So what my plan is I want to try to keep this muffler closest to the front as possible. So I'm going to probably just measure from the end of this slip joint to about this cross member in here. because I want the muffler to sit as tight as I can to this. Probably, you know, leave a 1/2 inch gap or so. So I'm going to measure that, and then I'll measure the flange on the muffler, and we'll cut it, stick it on the muffler. I'm just going to weld this pipe directly to the muffler, and then that should be about it. Then we can take those original hangers and try to get that all figured out with that. So it should be pretty easy. It shouldn't be anything too bad. I don't know how those hangers are going to work, but we'll figure that out once we get this all welded up. Okay, so I got this all in here. Got this welded like shit again until I changed the welder from manual to auto set, and it welded beautifully. So apparently it was just my settings that I had on the welder, so that's great. I also messed with these exhaust hangers, so get my flashlight over here. This one should work okay. Just weld it on the top side here. Same with this one over here, although this one is actually on the down pipe. It's not on this other piece, but I don't know, once I get this clamped, I'm sure it'll be just fine. I got this kind of figured out where I want to put my O2 sensor. So that'll go in there like so. Easy enough. We'll drill a hole, weld the bung like I did up there. Now the back is another story. We're going to have to MacGyver one of the hangers. One will work just fine. The other one, not so much. So this hanger, I think I'm just going to stick it right to the muffler, weld it, beautiful. But this one back here, I don't know what we're going to do here. I have an idea, but I think to start, we will weld this on here and then weld the two up on the front, just tack them on, pull everything apart, weld the O2 bung in, and I got some heat wrap for the down pipe. I'll put that on right away. And then we should be able to figure out what we want to do for a tailpipe, which will be simple, probably just a little down thing, I don't know, and go from there. So yeah, bunch of more welding and laying around on the ground. Fun. All right, I got these hangers all welded on. I got the O2 bung welded in that, I don't know, tailpipe piece, center piece, whatever that piece is called, before the muffler. It's over there, can't see it. But we're going to move on to exhaust wrap. So I did flatten these welds out just so there wasn't a big lump on there. Actually, while doing that, I thought Thought I could smell some plastic, and apparently I caught my sweatshirt. My favorite sweatshirt, actually. So, this is now a pullover, although all things considered, I'll take my losses on that one. So, I have never done this before. Never done this before. Anyway, this kit I'm pretty sure I got on Amazon or eBay. Comes with the wrap. Comes with a bunch of these metal zip tie things. I have no idea how these work, but doesn't matter, I guess. It said in the instructions to soak this, and I actually watched a couple videos on YouTube yesterday on how to do this. Some people said do not soak them, but the instructions with this one said soak it. So I soaked it. So this is all new to me. I've never done this. So I should really put gloves on, but I've already gone too far. I got gloves right here from my wife. Okay, I put down some cardboard here just to try to keep this off the ground so that it's not picking up a bunch of dust and crap. So what I found on the used tube yesterday, so I'm going to cut myself a fresh end, hopefully. Maybe. This is fiberglass too, obviously, if you don't know. That's why you really should wear gloves. And it said in the instructions to soak it so that it takes the dust particles out of the air. I don't know. Something like that. Okay. So, it says you should start furthest away and work your way towards the header, because normally this is used on headers. So I'm going to fold this over, and then I'm actually going to start, I'm only going to go to like this hanger. I'm really only concerned about more or less this corner where all the spark plug wires are and throttle cable and all that other garbage, but I'm actually going to do this whole thing. Hopefully I should have enough. So I'm going to start kind of here. I'm going to go down and then I'm going to go back just to keep the end kind of wrapped up. And I don't honestly know what the hell I'm doing. So I'm just going to kind of start. This probably is not going to work out to my, I think maybe what I'll do is just wrap this around a bunch. Maybe this should be over here. Over here, maybe. My thought is if I get a bunch wrapped around here, I can kind of run it tight. If you've done this before, you're probably laughing your ass off at me. There, good enough. Just kidding. Okay, let's loosen this up. Okay, something like that. So now, like I said, I'm going to try to wrap this up, keep it tight, wrap this up, and then kind of come back around. Well, this is a lot more difficult than what it looked like online. see what I'm doing, much less hold all this. Maybe I won't fold it over. Maybe I'll just give her hell. Well, I got a mess. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to start working my way back down. So now this should overlap. I think they say a minimum of 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to try to go probably half. There. So now, before I get too crazy, I would like to try to put a clamp around here. And actually what I was initially going to do was put this on here first and then slide it down, but I didn't. And I want this clamp to the top, just to try to hide it. Well, this is a bitch. Slide in there. There she went. I don't know how tight this really needs to be, but I would assume tighter the better. Okay, so now I'm going to take my needle nose. I can't tell if I'm square or not. Definitely not. We're just going to go for it. If I have to, I'll cut this one off and put another one on. But I don't think that'll be necessary. Okay, so I think that's tight. Okay, something like that. I don't know. Now we'll just keep going around and round. Looks all right. This is supposed to be like a gold, kind of a gold titanium sort of color. As long as it stays on here, should be good. You can use like a silicone spray that makes this last longer. I'm not going to use it because I don't have any, so we're just going to leave it like this. I'm going to try to cut this hole out. I'm afraid that when I do this, it's just going to fray and go to shit. So I should try to maybe just push this to the side somehow. There's my heat. Oh, look at that. There. Look at that. I'll grab my O2 sensor and I might as well throw that in there right away. I'm all wet now. If I knew where it went. Alright, because the heat's on, I'm gonna throw my O2 sensor in there and actually probably just get this all bolted back up in there because it's all ready to go back in. And then we'll play around with that last hanger and should be done. So this is what I think I am gonna go with for a tailpipe. Just a 90 out. We will be spitting at the tire, but whatever, that's okay. And then I'll just take this hanger and just weld it directly to this pipe, and that should be good. So I'm gonna finish getting all this welded up quick, throw a clamp on way up there where that slip joint is, and then we should be able to fire this thing up and listen to it. Figured I'd show you this one last time before I drop this down. But is everything all the way up to the turbo. See the O2 sensor right there. Good spot for it. Comes down. All the heat wrap. Got our slip joint here. And got another O2 up here. Muffler. And then I got to move so you can see the rest. There's a muffler all the way back to our 90. All right. There's the color of that heat wrap. It's kind of like a gold titanium color. Looks pretty sweet. I kind of go either way with the heat wrap. Sometimes I think maybe people just make it look terrible. This looks pretty good, probably because I did it. But I kind of dig it on this. It looks pretty good. Normally, I could go with or without. So let's get this thing started up and see how this thing sounds. All right, we got the big dog on here now. Should fire right up. Ooh. Kind of deep sounding now. Oh, you hear the turbo thing now? I think the wastegate. You can hear the wastegate. Oh, baby. You can freaking hear the wastegate now. Probably should be doing that. Blow her up right away. I can hear the turbo out the exhaust. I gotta set this over here. I'll set my mic over here. I don't know where to set it, but take a listen. That sounds cool. Take a listen to that intake. Oh, this thing sounds awesome now. Barely runs. We must be building boost now. I'm gonna put the gauge on. All right, I got the boost gauge hooked up now. I'm gonna see if this is making boost. I don't know why it would be now. I can't imagine exhaust makes that big of a difference. Probably shouldn't be doing that, but it's not making boost, but it sounds like the wastegate's opening. Actually, I have no idea. I don't know what I'm listening to or what I'm hearing, but it freaking sounds cool. That's all that matters. That wrap is supposed to smoke a little bit. I think it's just the moisture and whatever shit they use in that wrap, so that's normal for that to smoke. It's not normal for the tailpipe to roll coal. We might have too much fuel pressures, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, there you have it. Tracker has an exhaust system. I'll be honest, when I put that turbo in there, I didn't even think about the exhaust, and after I got the header done and everything else, I started looking at how to do that downpipe, and I was like, shit, this isn't going to be easy. Luckily, it was pretty easy though. It all actually went pretty damn well. Still got to use the original exhaust hangers and all that crap, so that's nice. I don't know, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty revved up right now, I'm not gonna lie. I got the C10, I got the Camaro that's got a pissed off small block, and this thing is getting me revved up. From now on, everything's getting turbos. Honestly, I might just roll the FJ in here, throw a turbo on that. Tundra might get a turbo, C10 might get 2 turbos, Camaro will get a turbo, Tesla will get a turbo. Everything's just gonna get turbos around here from now on. Just the way it's gonna be. Oh man. And to hear the turbo noises and that whistle out of that exhaust tip, whew, I don't know why it's smoking so bad. It shouldn't be smoking that bad. I don't know if it's exhaust smoke, coolant smoke, oil smoke, but whatever kind of smoke it is, we're going to run her till she blows. Once she blows, I don't know, scrap it at this point. I really don't care. As long as I get one good run out of it, I'll be pretty happy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was the wastegate that was making that noise, because they ain't making any boost. It's probably just the intake. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've never had a turbo before, but it sounds freaking cool, whatever it is. So, yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. What are we doing on the next video? I have no idea. So, you'll know when I know. I don't know. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Facebook. I guess maybe I do have the Tiki-Taki. I'm not sure. Whatever. Like, comment, subscribe. That's all I care about. Actually, just subscribe. That's all I care about. And, yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. I need a drink, and I'm probably going to fire this up again.